Hello there, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for joining today's broadcast. I'm going to wait a couple of seconds for more people to join before we get started because today's conversation is really, really important. It's about inflammation. And as you know, inflammation is really the leading cause of most diseases, and most of the things that we struggle with in our health are mostly caused by inflammation. So I would like for us to talk about that today and talk about the foods that fight inflammation. Okay, so come on in, everyone. Say hello when you join the broadcast and let me know where you're watching from so I can say hello back to you. Okay. So like I mentioned, we're going to talk about foods that fight inflammation. And I would like for you to please go ahead and share this broadcast, share it to your page, invite your friends to watch so that we can talk about how to fight inflammation, okay? If this is your first time connecting with me, my name is Nicolene Ambi. And my mission at any age. Now, if you follow me on Facebook, I've been talking a lot about blossoming. And why do I talk about blossoming? I talk about blossoming because I think at a certain point in our lives, we just find ourselves so overwhelmed due to a lot of traumatic incidences that may have happened in our lives, disappointments, setbacks, betrayals, loss of loved ones, extreme hard work, stress, and all of those things really tend to put people down, really tend to discourage many of us. So my mission is to really inspire women to blossom, to know that you can excel, to know that you can to know that you can blossom, you can do better, you can recreate, you're not stuck, right? So hello, Philomen. Thank you for watching from Los Angeles. I appreciate you. Larry McRae, thank you for watching. Where are you watching from, Larry? Thank you for joining. Comfort, thank you for joining from South Carolina. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And please go ahead and share the broadcast if you don't mind, so that we can have more people come in and we can talk about this. You know, I believe that health should be our number one priority. We help a lot of our family members. We give to people all the time. We're kind, we're caring, we're giving. But I think one of the things we don't do for ourselves is to really invest in our health and to take care of ourselves. Yes, Larry, thank you for watching from Georgia. I appreciate you. So we want to talk today about how to fight inflammation and what we need to do to restore our health and to be in the best shape of our lives so that we can do all that we need to do. You can learn more about me at nicoleneambe.com, nicoleneambe.com. Rosemary, Sister Rosemary, thank you for watching from Norway. All right, I appreciate you joining. So we're talking about how to fight inflammation, foods that fight inflammation. And as I mentioned to you at the top of the broadcast, inflammation is really the reason why we have many chronic diseases in our bodies. Chronic inflammation leads to chronic diseases in the body, like high blood pressure, heart disease, arthritis, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, cardiovascular diseases, cancer. All of those are mainly caused by inflammation in the body. And even when you feel unwell, you have maybe brain fog, you feel overwhelmed mentally, it could also be the result of inflammation. So taking care of inflammatory conditions in your body is especially very, very important. Hi, Immaculate. Thank you for watching all the way from the UK. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. So what causes inflammation in the first place? Now that we know that inflammation is really, really bad, what causes inflammation? Number one, it's poor diet, the things that we eat. Number two is processed foods. When we eat foods that are packaged and processed, those are not good for us and they cause inflammation. Number three is chronic stress. Chronic stress causes inflammation. And I am actually a testimony of this because for the last 3 or 4 years, I have been chronically stressed and I didn't even know. And I really felt that stress eating me up on the inside, but I didn't know how to control it. I didn't know what it was. And it made me very, very sick. And I'll tell you a little more about that. So chronic stress does cause inflammation. There are many things that can make us very stressed out. Loss of a loved one can cause chronic stress, serious disappointment, or living through traumatic life incidences, experiences can cause chronic stress. If you're in that situation, I really want to encourage you to learn how to manage your stress and keep it down, because in the long run, it can be really, really harmful and add inflammation to your body. Again, what causes inflammation could be excess alcohol. Drinking a lot of alcohol causes inflammation. Also, sugar, high fructose corn syrup will cause inflammation, excess sugar, and also salt, white table salt will cause inflammation. So we want to be mindful of the things that we eat, because those will mainly be the reasons why our bodies are inflammatory. Now, if you have any questions as I'm sharing, please go ahead and leave them there, and I will respond to your questions at the end of the broadcast. Now, how can we fight inflammation? How can we use food to fight inflammation? We know that inflammation is very, very bad for the body. We also know that inflammation is mainly caused by food. So therefore, it is going to take food to reverse inflammation, right? Lifestyle changes, diet changes will help us fight inflammation. Now, what foods fight inflammation? Number one, almonds and walnuts will help you fight inflammation. Okay, I'm sorry about that, everybody. I'm having a typical mommy day today. Everybody is coming in and out of the live today, but that's okay. That's life, right? So number one, food that fights inflammation is nuts. Nuts. You want to eat almonds and walnuts often. Now, not the roasted, salted, sugary version of it. You want to eat raw almonds and walnuts. Those are great to fight inflammation. Now, put it in the chat if you eat walnuts and almonds. I would love to hear from you if you snack on that. Those are great snacks. When you're feeling a hunger pang and you need something to fill you up a little bit, you can take a few almonds and walnuts, and that would be great, right? Right, Larry, that's right. And then number two, the second food that fights inflammation is wild-caught salmon, fatty fish, like wild-caught salmon, tuna, sardines, mackerel. Those will help as well. And number three, the third food that fights inflammation is fruits. You want fruits like strawberries, blueberries, apples, and cherries. So strawberries, blueberries, apples, and cherries, those really help in fighting inflammation. Number four, the fourth food that fights inflammation, yeah, Gil says she eats almonds all the time. That's great, awesome. The fourth food that fights inflammation, you want to eat leafy greens, like kale, spinach, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts, right? Now, for many people, eating kale, raw kale, is really difficult. If you put it in a salad, that's a lot of chewing. And if you prepare it as a vegetable meal, it may kill some of the nutrients, the phytochemicals in the plants. So the best way really to take it for me is to make a smoothie. The smoothies are the easiest way to consume your vegetables without having to chew a whole lot of it. And it'll take a whole lot of it for a really long period of time of eating the same anti-inflammatory foods that will help get rid of the inflammation. So it's not going to be something you do for 1 week or 2 weeks or a month or 3 months. It's the lifestyle change, because it has to go in your cells and it has to treat the condition and it has to regenerate new cells. So you have to eat a whole lot of these plants, right? And so chewing those plants in a salad or making them as a meal may not give you the amount of nutrients that you need to reverse the condition. So I believe that making smoothies or making juices are the best way of consuming raw plants. So leafy greens like kale, spinach, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts are great. And also what is great, and a great anti-inflammatory food is beetroots. You can also juice that as well, or you can put it in your smoothie. Avocados are also great anti-inflammatory foods. You have garlic and ginger that are also great. I know a lot of people do garlic and ginger. That's awesome. And then turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory food. Curcumin. I always ruin this word when I say curcumin. Yeah. Okay. Curcumin. So that is a great anti-inflammatory food. And also hemp seed, flaxseed, and chia seeds are great anti-inflammatory foods, right? So if you eat these foods often and you really clean up your diet and you manage your alcohol intake and you just eat this consistently, it has to be for the rest of your life that you eat this way, you will definitely reduce your inflammation in the body. But there are people who already have inflammation that is so severe that foods alone, you'd have to eat tons and tons of these foods to be able to really reduce that inflammation. This is when inflammation has become really chronic, where diet alone is not sufficient. And when diet is not sufficient, you definitely need support. You definitely need supplementation of your diet. And this is where some key supplements, especially, come in to really attack the inflammation and reverse it, right? And this has been my experience. As I shared with you at the top of the broadcast, I was chronically stressed after the loss of my husband, and in 2015, and I became ill. I was normally a very healthy person, and I became very ill. I struggled with tinnitus. If you know tinnitus, tinnitus is ringing in the head. When your head is just ringing, your ear is ringing, and it's such an uncomfortable position to be in. I went to YouTube and looked up different ways to treat tinnitus. And if you go to YouTube, you'll see so many people telling you so many different things to do to treat tinnitus, because it's a very difficult way to live with just ringing in your head. Your head is ringing. And I saw this one guy on YouTube, and he was talking about bathing in ice cold water in order to reduce the tinnitus. I never did that, but people are trying different ways of reducing tinnitus. It's a very debilitating condition to live with. Went to the doctor, they checked my ears, they said my hearing was fine, and the doctor sent me home and said, you know what, you just got to learn how to live with this. If it bothers you too much, play loud music and fall asleep that way. And that was the doctor's recommendation. But I'll tell you something, if you're watching me, if there's anything that's wrong in your body, if you have tinnitus, you have leg pain, you have high blood pressure, you have back pain, you have diabetes, you have any kind of discomfort, it's not supposed to be that way. There is something wrong. No matter what anyone says, if you feel anything that's off in your body, it's not supposed to be that way. So you have to find a way to reverse that. And I think a lot of it has to do with inflammation. Now, I had tinnitus, which was ringing in the head. I had back pain. My back was hurting so bad. My right leg was hurting. I had acid reflux. I actually went to the doctor for acid reflux because I felt like I had something stuck in my neck. Of course, most people will Google their symptoms. I looked at it and it turns out to be acid reflux. Went to the doctor, and the doctor told me I had sleep apnea. Right? Sleep apnea. And in the meantime, my esophagus was burning and I was hurting, and I had something, felt like something was stuck in my throat. Now, that wasn't usual. All of those things. And guess what? In the meantime, I was working out, I was eating healthy every day, doing all the right things, but I didn't know that chronic stress was killing me on the inside. So that's another thing that I had. I also had, what else did I have? I had arthritis on my left hand. I had pain, nerve pain on my left foot as well. I had vision. My left eye was literally giving way. And if you look at my both eyes, they're not the same. One is probably smaller than the other, if you can, I don't know if you can tell, but I was losing vision on my left eye. And that's how sick I was. I was very sick. And this is a story that I haven't told anyone. People see me and they say, Nicolene, wow, you look so good. Well, I don't think that anybody looks sick, right? Walking around. We all look good until we find ourselves in the hospital fighting for our lives, right? Makeup and all this stuff is not an indication of how well anyone is. So I did really struggle. And I'm sharing with you from my heart the things that I have had to do to overcome all of this that I've been through. And I'll tell you, at 52, I am not on any medication whatsoever. I don't feel any ringing in my head. I don't feel any leg pain. I don't feel any back pain. My vision is great. It's improving. It's still kind of weird on the left eye, but I can see without glasses. I don't need glasses to read at 52. So everything, my digestion is fine. My esophagus, my acid reflux is normal. So sharing with you really from my heart how far I have come. But and it really, I wouldn't say that it really was something that fell on my lap. This entire time, I didn't know what I was doing. And I'll share with you one thing. When I look back, I see how I could have really gone down a deep, dark hole if I wasn't, I would say that it was a blessing that I discovered this process of really cleaning up the body and killing inflammation in the body. I didn't know. And I have a PhD. Where have I been? I was very sick. And so I'm sharing with you the things that I have learned on this journey. And I want to really share this with you so that you can also have an idea. If you were in my position, you didn't know what you were doing like me, you would have an idea at this point. So I was sharing that if you have chronic inflammation, like if you're in my condition, you would need more than food. So I needed more than food. I needed supplementation to overcome my inflammatory conditions. So the first supplement that you would need when you have inflammation as chronic as mine, you would need an anti-inflammatory supplement, an antioxidant. You would need an antioxidant. And this antioxidant that I used is this one right here. I use this antioxidant. It has curcumin, turmeric, ginger, amla, which is Indian gooseberry. It is one of the most powerful antioxidant in the world. And it has all these ingredients with black pepper for absorption, right? So that's what I use that helped me a lot. The other thing that I used was vitamin D3 plus K2 to fight inflammation. Now, I used to go to what is this? I don't want to call the name of the store, but you know where we go buy vitamins in, local places. And I got vitamin D from there that was harming me and I didn't know. So we have to be very careful what vitamins we go out there and buy. Just because they're cheap doesn't mean they do the work. A lot of them are filled with coloring, fillers, and things that harm you, that add more inflammation. And I think that was also part of my issue when things started getting bad. I was adding supplements that I thought were good for me, but were actually really bad for me. So I started using this clean plant-based vitamin D3. It has K2 in it. And what the K2 is designed to do is to separate the calcium from your blood and put it in your teeth and your bones. Most vitamin Ds don't have that. So you're taking vitamin D, but the calcium stays in your blood. And guess what that does? When calcium stays in your blood, what happens? It calcifies your arteries and it causes high blood pressure. It causes inflammation in your body. So you want to make sure that you're taking a vitamin D3 that has K2 in it. And this one is 5,000 IU of vitamin D. So that was the second supplement. The third supplement that I used was this one right here, the Nitric Oxide Booster. This is a very powerful supplement that helps with circulation, brain function, energy and endurance, and also an immune booster. That was what really knocked everything off. And it's been, 5 months of me taking these supplements, and everything is gone. Everything. I have no health issues. None. Everything is fine. All my numbers are straight. I can see how very easily someone can go downhill into a deep, dark hole where you cannot climb out of. If you have conditions in your body and you go to this specialist, go to that specialist, and go to this specialist, now all three of them are not communicating. So let me tell you what happened, right? Let me tell you my situation. I went to the eye specialist. The eye specialist told me, oh, there's something in your left eye. Go to the optometrist. Send me to a specialist. And then I went to the ear ringing person, the ophthalmologist, and he said, oh, your ear's ringing. Just listen to music. And then I go to, who else did I go? To the doctor for acid reflux. And the doctor told me I have sleep apnea. Now look at all these conflicting information. What am I supposed to do with all these? Go here, go there, do this, do that. In the meantime, what's happening? In the meantime, I'm getting sicker and sicker and sicker. It's getting worse. And then it gets to a certain point where it's really, really bad. Your illness is so bad. And then you just get this prescription. Take here, use this. Use this is your situation, use this prescription, use that. And you start using all these prescriptions, and then your body starts going, oh, what's going on? And then what happens? You start feeling tired, you start getting brain fog, you start looking older than your age. This one starts hurting and things start going wrong. We got to be wise. We have to be wise and discerning about what we're doing with our bodies. The solution is right here with us in the way that we think about it, in the choices we make, the food we eat, the lifestyle. The solution is right here. So if we can simply replace our diet and eat clean and take clean plant-based supplements often, exercise, drink a lot of water, stop eating salt, stop eating so much sugar. If we can discipline our minds to stop doing those bad things and focus on the things that we need to do, you will watch your health really become better. You will do so much better as opposed to just dabbling. And this is what I'm here to share with you today. If you want these supplements, please inbox me and I'll send them out to you. They are clean, plant-based supplements. They have no fillers, no coloring, no animal products, no preservatives. They're grown in a controlled environment. They are formulated by a physician, a spine surgeon who's been practicing medicine for 20 plus years. He has worked with so many patients who have issues just like you and I. So he understands the human body and he knows what he's doing. So let me know if you would like to have them. If not, that's great. You can eat clean and do, but if you go out to the stores to buy supplements, really, really know what you're doing and what you're putting in your body, okay? I just wanted to share that. And also wanted to share with you, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, that your health is a priority. I see so many people who don't want to invest in their health. They want to use the money for something else. And it ends up being more expensive, the choices that you make, because going to the hospital, going from one doctor to the next and to the next, that's more expensive. It's more expensive when you have brain fog. It's more expensive when you can't get up because you don't have the energy to just get up and do one more thing. That's more expensive. It's more expensive when you have vision issues. You can't see well, or you're struggling with your vision. That's more expensive. It's more expensive when you just cannot play with your children, your grandchildren, because you're so tired all the time. You can't spend time with your loved ones because you can't do those things with them because you're so tired all the time. That's more expensive. So I want us to kind of have the mentality of putting ourselves first when it comes to our health. There's a lot of people right now who have so many chronic conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, and all of these issues, but still reluctant to invest in the choices that will help them feel better. And I think that's really self-sabotaging. It's not necessary. And guess what happens? I have lost a loved one, and I know what happens when you lose people. Other people fight over your money. Other people fight over your money. Other people distribute your money. They distribute it evenly. It has to be fair. Everybody has to get their share, because you're gone at this point, and your money is sitting there in the bank, and people are fighting over it, when you could have taken a few dollars out of there to invest in your health, to regenerate yourself, to be alive and to be healthy and to be vibrant and to do all of the things that your heart desires. So just wanted to share that with you. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm just here to maybe open your mind and your heart a little bit to look at this in a critical way. All right. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat and I will respond to them. I was going to do just a 10-minute broadcast. All right. Larry says, I hate brain fog. Yes, I hear you on that, Larry. Brain fog is no fun, because when you start thinking of something and you just like, where was I going with this? So that comes with eating clean. It comes with making good choices. You can reverse that as well. Just lots of fluids, lots of raw foods in smoothies and juices, and you will begin to really feel better. And also, if you would like, message me to try our products. You would really feel so much better. And then Constance, thank you for joining. Constance says, thank you, Ma. It really is more expensive. We need to focus and take care of our health. I'll put myself first. Yes, very good, Constance. If you have any questions, please go ahead and leave them and I will respond to your questions later. I thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And I will see you next Sunday, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.